Will Hamilton, Director of Historic Preservation and Site Supervisor here at Roper House in Charleston, South Carolina. We're here on the water, and hurricanes and other natural disasters are known to happen in this area. And the first way to respond to a potential disaster is to gather information now. And what we're doing is looking at the latest way to document structure to help us prepare for a response and recovery effort after the disaster. Good morning, Will Hamilton here today with AJ Keene of Belfor Property Restoration. AJ's helping us with some documentation and scanning inside the house to help restore Roper House here.
Morning, Will. Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here. Belfor is one of the largest, if not the largest, disaster response companies in the world. This is just one of the tools in our arsenal. What this allows us to do is 3D map the property.
So this is using lasers?
Correct. It's using, I think, 6 to 8 different lenses all at once to capture floor, wall, ceiling, 360-degree view.
And in the event of a disaster, having the scan available for Belfor will make the restoration much, much more efficient, with them knowing where various building system components, electrical breakers, water shutoffs, that sort of thing are, so that they know all that before they get here. Well, AJ, thank you. We'll let you get to work.
Well, then this doorway is open, but you can see where I didn't quite get the capture right there, so I probably
So wait, this is like looking at it in plan?
Correct. Yep.
So how does it get?
It builds the floor plan as you go. So in relation to itself, it's almost like GPS. It's GPS in itself around the building to build the floor plan. But I probably need to drop the camera there so I can get this view behind that door.
So 1836, and we'll see 1836 inside. As we move through, we'll see 18. It's really survived really well in that part of the house.
Digital file source that they can tag specific building system components. Jeff mentioned electrical breakers, gas shutoffs, water shutoffs, that sort of thing, so that in the event that they do have to come help us with some kind of restoration from water damage or wind damage or whatever, they're not scrambling to find electrical outlets to plug in dehumidifiers and fans, or where to turn the water off, that sort of thing. So what we're getting ready to see is a digital scan that essentially allows them to walk through the building on an iPad or a computer and point out where those components that I just mentioned were. It makes things way more efficient and way more effective.
The original scan was done with that door open, is that correct?
No, it's probably just people moving around.
Okay, all
That's
right.
probably what it was, or just a little bit too far. With as much detail and potential movement, it probably just didn't know where it was. If you were to walk into this home and it was empty, we want every door open so that way the camera has a visual into the next room, so it knows that it's going to build a room over there.
There's a pretty robust debate among people that do documentation about whether this kind of scan is as good as or better than hand measuring things. And wherever you fall down on that, there is no doubt that this is 100 times faster. If you're in a hurry, there's no substitute for this.
The first scan was here, just kind of grabbed the generalized shape of the room and the pictures around it. Second, number 2, obviously, gives a little more detail, and you can see where it's kind of like a LiDAR or radar where things are casting shadows that the camera can't see. So I'm going to move it to...
So is that scan based on one position or 2?
That's 2 positions so far. What it builds is this 3-dimensional dollhouse. And you can just drop in anywhere you like. And here we are. We're back to where we are.
We're talking about documentation essentially here,
Mm-hmm.
which might be a good segue into what we're currently working on with Moby. I don't know if you've touched on that yet, but I'll talk a little bit about the first phase of that project and where we are with it and where we're heading.
Well, should we thank these guys?
So there you have it. Once we finish this 3D imaging of Roper, we'll have the information required to help us bring this important place back if it ever suffers the effect of disaster, which we hope will never happen.